What's up, everybody? News about this case going on with Kamar Anthony and Matt Cap is getting out of hand more and more each day, as you can see it. I had to get my hair shaved, cut, and everything. It's hot here in South Carolina and everything. But anyway, the lawyer for Kamar Anthony is getting out of hand. He now wants to seek information on the names of all the witnesses that happened there. But you gotta understand this right here. This ain't the first time this lawyer he got now done this kind of shit. Cause the lawyer he has now has done the exact same shit with that same kind of case files, releasing personal information of witnesses out in public. The people that supports Commander Anthony are disgusting, foul people. And everything. Here we go. Commander Anthony has retained attorney Mike Howard as his new defense attorney. The charge required prior to his court appearance, and Howard is expected to represent him in an ongoing legal process related to the murder charge against him. All the evidence proving that he was not innocent. He did not kill, do this in self-defense. He did this as pre-attempted. He had his set plan and knew he was not supposed to be in there. And Mike Howard isn't the first time he actually took a case like this before. And everything. This ain't the first time this kind of lawyer was put in this situation before. And everything. Mike Howard, lawyer Office of Mike Howard, Part 23. This ain't the first time he was in federal court or any kind of case like this before. The same thing he's doing now, asking for information about clients and everything, he released it out before one time. I'm not sure what case it was, but a big thing area. And all he fucked up, released critical information. And everything. There was a 17-year-old accusation of murdering. Yeah, that's what he's doing now. Antonio was caught with first-degree murder following the authority stabbing of Matt Cap. Howard role in this case includes African. Here you go. Trying to claim that it was self-defense, but it was not self-defense. Because he was in a school area that he should not have been in and everything. He threatened the victims. Don't put your hands on me, see what happens. He already initiated using force. Okay? If you come to someone's home, you're not supposed to be there. They have right to tell you to leave. And he said, put your hands on me, find what out. Find what happened. You already had it in mind that you want to do something bad. And now the lawyer that Camilo got wants to release all the public information, all the witnesses out there. That is something you do not do in a sensitive case like this. You do not do that. You really do not do that shit. Because leaking out information like that, you put the witnesses in danger. You undermine the court law.
So behind the scenes,
Here we go, what I'm talking about.
We heard too many things about much, but at the same time, the defense is apparently sending out subpoenas to get information from all the families, all their kids, all their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, their uncles, everybody. They're trying to get information from every witness of every person that was in attendance that saw something or had something to do with the Carmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf situation. Now, that seems normal to me. Obviously, a defense attorney is going to try and do that. They're going to try and get all information possible, point blank.
But release it out to the public ain't
but
right.
I didn't expect an underhanded move this soon into the entire situation, because we're learning now that the lawyers are trying to do a quick fast one. They're trying to request this information, subpoena this information, forcefully, basically, lawfully, without people being able to counterclaim that information. So basically, they gave everybody 5 days. Everybody has 5 days to go to their lawyer try and figure out what they can do to keep their children's names from being fully exposed to everybody. Now, obviously on this channel and a lot of other channels, nobody's releasing names and stuff like that. But if it's out in the wild and it's able to be found, that's when all the trolls and the lowlifes and the nobodies go and get that information and start doxing everybody. So we're entering an interesting situation right now to where it's like they're playing chess against the families. The families got this suddenly pushed on them, and I think it is necessary information that the defense team is probably going to have to obtain, but the way in which they're doing it is kind of suspicious. Let's go ahead and check out what's happening. There's been a big update. I'll see you guys in Douglas. Now, before we even begin this, my whole understanding about this is that the child witness, their information is exposed to the right people, and to everyone else, it's just initials or something of the sort that we don't know exactly who the person is. It happened in a few cases that we covered to where the child, if they're involved in the case at all, if they're doing any type of witness work, they're pretty much just initialed and that's it. So I went to the Department of Justice to check out like exactly what they're saying about the code of conduct with dealing with children, and then we're going to compare it with what's actually happening with what Mike Howard, is requesting. So down here, there's a whole code, blah, 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 protection of identity of child witness and victims. Under 18 USC 3509, the term child means a person who is under the age of 18 who is or is alleged to be a victim of a crime of physical abuse, sexual abuse, or exploitation, or a witness to a crime committed against another person. Section 3509D requires that all government employees connected with the criminal proceeding, all court personnel, the defendant, and all employees of the defendant, and all members of the jury, 1, keep all documents that disclose the name or any other information concerning a child in a secure place to which no person who does not have a reason to know their contents has access, and 2, disclose documents described in the statute or information in them that concerns the child only to persons who, by reason of their participation in the proceeding, have reason to know such information. So basically from this, you leave the kids' names out of it, right? But I think it goes a step further, and there's a whole bunch of little exceptions when it has something to do with the whole school district of information. Because now the school is kind of like the middleman between these requests as opposed to just something that happened out on the street, right? So let's see what happened with Mike Howard. A concerning exclusive update involving students attending Frisco ISD, Texas, who attended the track meet the day Austin Metcalf was murdered. So this is everybody. And the school has these files, these records, they just passed off. So now it's like the school has to somewhat comply with what's happening, right? So everybody who went to attend this, that's a lot of kids. That's a lot of fucking kids. On July 9th, 2025, I reported that multiple subpoenas were sent to Frisco ISD. Please take note of this date. Mike Howard, Carmelo Anthony's attorney, requested all disciplinary counseling and school records Frisco ISD for Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf, and Austin Metcalf's brother, Hunter Metcalf. Howard also requested a list of all students, athletes, and their parents' information who attended the track meet, as well as copies of all video footage taken.
Right there. That lawyer wants personal people's information. Their home, address, age, everything. What's going on? That kind of shit right there, he wants to make it public. Now let's keep this in mind. There's rules and regulations for that. And everything. This lawyer wants that kind of information out there. So Commander Anthony's followers, and I get this, can come to those people's homes and squat like they did at Austin Metcalf's family did. Okay? I've been following the case since it happened in April of this year, all the way to now. And that's exactly almost about 3 months. 3 months this case been going on. And he's not scheduled to go into court up here until next year, or June of next year. So that gives him almost a year to fuck up everything. When that case that happened, what's it called, a while back happened and everything. What's that? How sure was it? That when that white cops killed that black guy, I forgot what his name was. They already jumped in the case and almost kind of like, boom, cops were guilty. You see what I'm saying? But the victim is white and the perpetrator is black. Now they're taking this some time. I get it. Yeah, it's teenagers, okay? Yeah, I get it. This kind of case is happening. Yeah, it's in Texas. Okay, yeah. But law is law. And everything. It's getting to the point now that if cops do something or lock somebody up, oh, it's racist. But it falls into a white person, not so much. But it falls onto a black kid, it's racist. And everything like that. Or the cops are picking on him because da. I'm like, it's not racist. Cops tell you, or basically, and you did crime, you fled from the crime scene, and you have a known record of fighting, stealing, pulling knives on people before, then you're not innocent, but they claim he is. Oh, he's a good boy, da. No, it has been proven records. I can pull it right now. Oh, I'm gonna pull it right now, prove my point. I know somebody in the comments gonna say I'm being racist, or I don't know what I'm saying. I'm about to pull up right here. And everything. Here we go. Come arrest report or record. Here we go. Police report reveal what Command Anthony Religious said on April 4th, 2025. According to the Vesco Police Department, the altercation was between two students and resulted in one stabbing the other. Suspect, 17-year-old Command Anthony, criminal case. Basically, this isn't his first time running with the law. Okay? Not his first time running with the law at all. It isn't the first time. It has been shown videos of him stealing stuff before. Fighting with his fellow classmates, everything like that. This isn't the first time it happened. He had a arrest record before. All that. And everything. His father had an active warrant out on him since 2009 from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And it's been proven that his father has stolen money. And it's been proven right here. Plus, he's going around claiming he's a disciple. Gang member. But not. Really not. And everything. But, this is what I want to say right here. They scammed the Black Lives Matter group out of money. Tons and tons of money. And everything. And the lawyer he got now is basically wanting all the information of all the witnesses there to happen. There's a rule in the Constitution that allows the United release any personal information of the crime or people in that crime area out to the public. But this lawyer does want to do that. He subpoenaed it, and to be honest, if he gets that kind of information, and Command Anthony's followers get that kind of information, they can go to people's homes and threaten them. This ain't the first time this lawyer done that shit. Shocker, ain't it? This lawyer is a scumbag. A real piece of work. walking piece of definition of a human shitbag. I'm gonna show you why. Hold on.
Which is a lot. You know how many iPhones popped out during that time? That's hundreds of video, I would assume. That's hundreds of little clips and all types of shit. The requested information includes full names, date of birth, address, parents' names,
Breaking
and
a very
contact
important
information
law
for
in
those who
Constitution
attended
for
the
that.
track meet at Duquesne Stadium on April 2nd, 2025. Today, July 24th, 2025, I obtained a copy of an email sent to every parent of each child who attended the track.
This is breaking a very
informing
law,
them
Family
that they have
Education
until
Rights
July
and
29th,
Privacy Act.
2025, 5 days to file a motion and or notice of hearing to object the release of their personal identifiable information to the Anthony family's attorney and Collin County courts.
They breaking
Now,
that
I
rule.
think the most underhanded thing about this is just the time. I think he didn't, because you know when you're playing this game as a lawyer, there's gonna be certain witnesses that object to give their information, but might still show up. There might be people who want to give you a hard time with their lawyers. So there's a lot of things I feel like Mike Howard is trying to avoid by springing this up on families. Maybe they don't have the money on them right now to hurry get a lawyer and object it. Maybe, you know, all these thoughts that are going through his head, he's probably thinking like, yeah, let's give him 5 days. What's the minimal amount of time you need? Five days? Give him exactly 5 days and let's get all this information and let's really start going hard. Now, does that mean if he does get this information, does that mean the kids will be doxxed? I don't necessarily think so. But a lot of people seem to believe that. Which, hey, you know, you're dealing with a case like this, it is very possible. Frisco ISD appears to have given little consideration to the serious concerns of parents regarding their children's safety.
You don't care.
Activists and operatives have already threatened and targeted the Metcalf family, including their son.
Yeah,
Hunter,
this new
and have
generation,
escalated threats
well, we're
toward
gonna have
me
with other people.
as a prominent reporter on the case. A defense attorney may subpoena school records of non-party, but they must demonstrate the relevance of records to the case and adhere to legal procedure.
They're going to use that
for
information
issuing
to
and
hound these other
serving
witnesses
subpoenas while
in the silence.
respecting individuals' rights to privacy and protections under the FERPA Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. And this is the one thing, you know, we read that definition in the beginning, how, you know, certain kids, you know, you can have their name, but it needs to stay within certain limits. FERPA trumps over even that sometimes, from what I understand. So FERPA is like this whole situation that I think Mike Howard's trying to get around. Because there's so many gray areas.
In the gray area,
wants to
legal
get all
work,
those
paperwork,
things without
everything.
having to deal with that. And I think the major concern from this entire thing is that, you know, there's gonna be a star witness, and it's gonna be a kid more than likely, right? So I feel like the main concern is that, you know, the operatives, the activists, whoever, the dumbasses, the trolls out there, they find that name and they attach to it. And now the kid's fearing for his life or some shit. And keep in mind, I mean, there was even a kid who made a comment. She said, oh yeah, I knew Carmelo, he liked to fight, but I never expected this. People wanted to go after her. She just made a random comment. People wanted to go after her. So, you know, I think that this kind of implicates a lot bigger of a problem in the future if they keep moving like this. The school is required to make a reasonable effort to notify parents if the student is a minor before complying with the subpoena. And that was their, what was the word? That was their reasonable effort. I guarantee you. If somebody goes and emails the school, they're going to be like, well, we gave you a full business week. We gave you one full business week, and that's pretty much all we can do about it. Listen, the school doesn't want to have anything to do with this case just as much as the Anthony family doesn't want to. I feel like the school he's going to, the whole school district sees this as just overall a tarnish to their name, and they just want to get rid of it as soon as possible. I don't think the school is going to be very helpful in terms of responding to that statement right there. I doubt it. I spoke with several parents in Frisco ISD regarding this. One parent stated, given the heat that surrounds this case, not to be overdramatic, but every student that was there could be exposed to every nut that would have them swatted or followed or otherwise intimidated. The defendant, of course, has a right to his defense, but I don't need someone in Wisconsin calling the SWAT team because my son might be a witness. We didn't ask for this. We want to keep our lives private and have our kids be able to attend school without any more anxiety than high school life itself presents. Now, I get what the parents saying, but from the start, I already
these lawyers
said,
are gonna try to fuck everybody's life up.
Mike
It's simple
Howard
as that.
is going to get those names. Regardless or not if they're going to be allowed to be public or if
He gets the name, he's going to
witness
go
is
public.
speak, Mike Howard's going to get those names. And I think this is just one of the moves that we're going to start to see from this, quote unquote dream team that they're going to start pulling. They're going to start doing a whole bunch of underhanded shit.
Oh yeah.
Quick shit, fast. To where it's like, well, it's not illegal, so I guess we have to give it to them. We're going to be seeing a lot more of that. But mind you, prosecution can do the same thing. So remember, there's Mike Hunt and the Dream Team, but there's also prosecution, and they can do the same thing. So we'll see what happens as this progresses. The parent continued, I wish I would have gotten earlier notice. I have contact information for an attorney who will fight vigorously to protect parental rights in this matter. If you, the parents, would like to join together and fight this invasion of privacy and short notice, please contact me for more information. And the one reason why I'm kind of skeptical about this is because Mike Howard and that other lawyer, these lawyers know what they're doing. So I'm kind of skeptical on how much can actually be done to stop this, other than, gathering that money, getting that attorney, and trying to fight against it, which a lot of parents probably don't have the money to just go ahead and do out of nowhere. So this is the notice posted right here. It says, notice of subpoena for student records. Dear parent, of the 2024-2025 Memorial Track and Field athletes pursuant to FERPA requirement found in 34, the district is providing you with a notice of subpoena it received in case number, blah, blah, blah. Our records indicate that your student attended or was scheduled to attend the track meet in Kuykendall Stadium on April 2nd, 2025. Therefore, the record responsive to the subpoena contains what would be considered your student's personal identifiable information per FERPA. The subpoena is requesting the following records. And then bold words, which is our kicker right here, which is what we got to focus on. Please provide a list of all student athletes from Memorial High School, including their full name, date of birth, address, parents' name, contact, that's your social security number. Not playing. Maybe it actually could be your social. I don't think. Maybe it actually really could be your social if included as well. Who attended a track meet at the Kuykendall Stadium 0402, 2025. Now, again, they cited the case law and all that shit. The requirements found in 34 CFR 9931A9-2 or whatever, So if the school is actually sending this out, it's sent and it's legal. I feel like the courteous thing to do would have let the parents know a month ahead, 2 weeks ahead, 2 weeks at the very minimum. But again, this is a stain on the school's reputation. They do not care. They want to get this thing shut down as soon as possible. And if a few kids get cyberbullied over it or doxxed, so fucking be it. This needs to exit the news. This needs to come out of the news cycle as soon as possible, because we do not want Frisco ISD to look bad. That's what I think about this whole thing. Because, the school is compliant as ever. They could have easily responded to Mike Hunt. Jeez, why do I keep saying that? They could have easily responded to Mike Howard and been like, well, we're going to have to do this, that, and the other, and from there, we can move forward. It's going to take us about 3 weeks. It's going to take about 3 weeks, you're just going to have to wait. Or blah, blah, something. But nope. You got 5 days. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think this is normal? Do you think this is abnormal? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is the next move for the criminal defense attorneys? Because like I said, they're going to get to work. Whenever things die down a little bit, that's because they're working. Clearly. But anyways, folks, I'll catch you guys real soon. Stay inside, stay safe. I love you guys, man. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Lena Howard.